Howdy artists. Today we are going to keep on reviewing the wonderful world of lines. So we're going to be creating a monster, but for this monster, that fur is going to be made out of lines. So on a sheet of paper here, we're going to be taking a black marker and we're going to fill the whole sheet up with a bunch of different lines. So not one line throughout the whole paper, but a bunch, a variety of lines that go across the whole piece of paper. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. To begin, I'm going to start up here at the top and I'm going to make a straight horizontal line. Remember, a horizontal line goes side to side and a straight line moves in one direction. So from this side of my paper to the other side. Nice. All right, below the straight line, I'm going to create a wavy line. A wavy line will curve down and up, down and up, down and up. Watch me as I go. Curve down, curve up, curve down, curve up, curve down, curve up, curve down. Okay, for our next line, we're going to create a zigzag. A zigzag looks like it's a bunch of triangles and it has points. We're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Watch me. Up, down, 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 up, down. Excellent. Okay, let's move below our zigzag line. We're going to create a scallop line. You might see a scallop line when perhaps you're looking at the clouds. You're going to draw some clouds on your paper. So for this scallop line, we are going to curve over, curve over, curve over, curve over. It's a bunch of half circles. So curve over, 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 curve over. Awesome. Okay. Next, we're going to create that dash line. Remember, a dash line looks like a straight line, but it has spaces in between that. So I'm going to start off here. I'm going to go line, put my finger, make a space. Line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. Nice. Okay. Below this one, I'm going to make a dotted line. It's going to look like the dash line because there's going to be a bunch of spaces between it. But instead of it being these little horizontal lines, it's going to be dots. Now, I could choose to either draw them as a circle or I could choose to just make them as a closed-in dot. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to go dot, space, 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 and keep going till I'm at the edge of my paper. All right, let's do another scallop line, but this time we're going to reverse it. So instead of this one, curve over down, curve over down, curve over down, this time we're gonna go curve down, up, down, up, down, up. So I'm gonna start on the side. Down, up, 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 down, up. Now, wouldn't this be such a cool line if you were like making waves at the ocean? Ooh la la. All right, we've got a little bit more space here. And if you happen to run out of room, maybe this one is all the way down here and you have run out of room, see if you can find some other space around on your paper that you can add these last two lines in that we're going to do. This next one is my personal favorite. It is a castle line. Yes, it's because it looks like perhaps a line you would see if you were drawing a castle, like the little towers that might be on top. For this one, I'm going to start on the side. I'm going to go curve over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down. And that's how I'm going to keep doing it each time. Watch me go. Over, up, over, down, 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 over, up, over, down. See? I just keep repeating it. All right, last but not least, we're going to do a loop-de-line. And this one is going to go below our castle line here, or again, if you ran out of space, find somewhere else on your paper where you can add this line. For this one, we are going to curve up, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down. This one's gonna look like if you were on a roller coaster. You might use this line. So I'm gonna start over on the side here. I'm gonna go curve up, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down. Let me kind of slow that one down again. So it's gonna curve up, then it's gonna curve over, then it's gonna curve down, up, over, down, up, over, down. Fabulous. Okay, stay tuned, because now we gotta add some color, baby. Ooh la la, check out my color. Okay. No, you do not need to fill yours in exactly the same colors that I used mine, but you're going to use the paint sticks up in the front to fill your entire sheet of paper with color. Okay, now your guest teacher's going to pause the video while you do that, and then we'll press play when we're ready to do the next step together. So now flip it over to the back. And this is where we are going to take a pencil instead, and we're going to be drawing out the shape of our, so now flip it over to the back. And this is where we are going to take a pencil instead, and we're going to be drawing out the shape of our monster. Now, do you think it makes a whole lot of sense for me to draw something that's only this big? I mean, golly, I just filled in all of this paper here with color, so don't I want to use majority of it? If I do it that big, I'm only using a tiny bit, so let's make them big. So I'm going to start off by making a nice big curve. Look at my finger. I'm going to curve up, over, down. This is for the top shape of my monster. And look how I'm kind of starting down towards the bottom and making that big curve up, over, down. So here, now I'm going to take the pencil. So watch me curve up, over, bring it on down. Okay. For this bottom part here, I'm going to let you get a little funky with this, so you can choose if you would like to do a wavy line or maybe a zigzag line. Oh my gosh, maybe you want to do a castle line because you just know that Mrs. House loves a castle line. You can choose what you would like to do for the bottom here. You just want to make sure that you do it kind of large. I'm actually thinking for this one, I'm going to do a zigzag line because I kind of want him to look a little furry. So I'm going to come here on this side, and I'm going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. Remember, that's what we did before. So curve down, up, down, up, down, up. And look how I'm making these pretty big, right? I don't want to do a whole bunch of little itty bitty ones like this because that's a lot of time for me to have to cut. So I do them nice and big, like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect it. Ah, voila. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some scissors and I'm going to cut as close to this line as I can. And remember that when we cut, okay, we want to keep the hand that has the scissors, want to keep that one nice and still. And we're just going to, instead of rotating our arm in all these funky directions to try and cut the paper, we're going to keep this hand facing forward and still, and we're going to move the paper around with our other hand. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come here. I'm going pretty slow too, right? I don't want to rush this. This hand with the scissors is still facing straight. I'm using the other hand to rotate the paper. And I like to do little bits at a time. So, got rid of that chunk. Now I gotta come here and I have to worry about cutting this. Now, depending on the line you did, you might have to do little cuts at a time. So I'm just gonna start off here, and I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna rotate this paper. Ooh, and I cut off one part. Here's the next. Rotate the paper and cut. Now, if you did a wavy line, it might be a little different. You might just need to, again, rotate around your curves. If you did a castle line or a scallop line, again, same kind of deal. Rotate the paper, not your hand. No one wants to be cutting up like this. So you want to make sure that you are keeping that hand straight. Are you ready for the big reveal of my monster? Oh my god, he's so cute. We're going to stop here for today. Next week we will be adding on our eyes and another part of our face. But please just make sure your name is on the back of this paper. You're going to hand it to your guest teacher, and that's it, friends. Can't wait to see what your monsters look like next time.